Hi guys, this is going to be a rather raw video about fountain pens and perhaps a little bit about the fountain pen community. First, two things I want to talk about. First is my fountain pen, which is Lamy logo. This was my first fountain pen ever, and I have had it about a year by now. And secondly, just to make a shout out to a YouTube channel which is called, or was called, hopefully is called, or will be called, Pens and Poetry. I discovered this channel about maybe few weeks ago. Lately it had basically 700 subscribers, and I really loved it. The content was great, and Luke, who was talking there, is amazing. I don't know, there is something about a few YouTubers which is really, they're so sincere, and I really loved it. Matt Armstrong from Pen Habit was also one of my favorites. He doesn't, as you all know, he doesn't make videos anymore, which is fine. He explained it, but yeah. So, okay. Here I have 4 fountain pens. Altogether I have about 7 fountain pens. I did make a video about them. It was, I don't know, 10 minutes or more long. But as a perfectionist, maybe somehow, for some reason, I wasn't very pleased with it. So one day I should make another one where I talk about my fountain pen, newbie fountain pen collection. But these are 4 of them. All these 3 are vintage, and this is Lamy logo, which I would like to talk about today. And I have this ink. It's Waterman brown ink. It has a bit of, what's the word, shading to it or something. And I have it inked up right now with this ink. It's I don't know if you can see this, but it's really a smooth pen. Lamy is of course well-known brand among fountain pens, but for some reason I haven't seen many videos about this Lamy logo. It's really great. It's metal. I ordered this converter here. I have mostly used this fine nib. One day I think I want to have a Japanese pen as well, because as this is fine, I have a really small handwriting. It's still a bit big and too wet for me, but it's fine. It's great. It's a great pen. But yeah, about this channel, Pens and Poetry, I do hope he comes back. There was a poem about he was talking about wrote a poem about giving a fountain pen as a gift for someone. I don't remember exactly, but it was a great poem. As in the Bible or somewhere, it said that you should give a person something, which a tool or something which they can fish, catch fish for their own. So you don't give them fish, you give them a tool to acquire food or something. And he turned it to, he wrote this pen about fountain pens, that you should give someone a fountain pen, and the last part of the poem was, you should give yourself permission to make a gift, and give yourself a fine fountain pen so you can write down your thoughts and discover yourself by writing. It was a really, really great poem. I really liked it. But yeah, I'm not familiar, but something, I don't know, misunderstanding or a bad joke or whatever happened there, and I do hope he comes back. Because when you love poetry and fountain pens, what more can you ask? Lately I've been reading Charles Bukowski quite a lot. It's like fifth collection of his poems that I've been reading. So yeah, I love poetry. I'm not sure if Charles Bukowski is my all-time favorite, but I enjoy him. Okay, this fountain pen. I've been collecting, sort of collecting typewriters. I have 4 typewriters, and somehow, for some reason, I don't know, I just I haven't used a fountain pen ever, and for some reason I felt that if I get a fountain pen I will probably enjoy it. It's like, why do I even use regular pen anymore? No, I can use whatever ink I want, and it's really smooth. I have never enjoyed writing until I got my first fountain pen, which is this one. The hand always cramps up or something for some time, but this is, with fountain pen I can write forever. It's really difficult to describe this fountain pen. It's one of my favorites, truly. Great fountain pen. And I really love the look of it. Lamy All-Star is a rather well-known fountain pen, but I don't know, I haven't had any other Lamy fountain pens, but this one, perfect. It's quite small. I love this. Fits perfectly into my hand. Okay, a brief, as I'm already talking about fountain pens. This is Waterman's Lady Patricia fountain pen. It's the first this kind of fountain pen that I haven't used much. I haven't inked it up. I have never inked it up because as I'm new to fountain pens, I'm afraid that for some reason, I have to replace the sack someday if I use it, and then it's probably quite complicated with this pen. There was a video on YouTube where someone replaced the sack and said that if you're not experienced with this kind of work, he kind of advised not to do it. But this is, I think, in my view, the most beautiful fountain pen that I have so far. It's really gorgeous. This one is a German fountain pen, Duchesse. It's quite soft. It's empty right now, but it also has a sack, and it's really fine, the finest fountain pen that I have. It's a really curious fountain pen. I would like to make a review or something about this someday, perhaps. And then, as I'm afraid of, I love vintage fountain pens, but I'm also afraid of, the the issue of replacing the fountain pen sack, I ordered this one. This is eyedropper fountain pen, and it's a Swan fountain pen, but it has a Waterman's nib. It's probably semi-flexible. It's quite flexible. I love it. And I really love this pen. And the good thing is that I never have to worry about, you know, replacing the sack or something, because, you know, I just put ink here and it works. But as I've heard, you know, when you have this eyedropper fountain pen, the ink sometimes starts to blurb out, or what's the word? So I have had this issue with this pen. But yeah, it's a lovely writer. Okay, as I'm all talking about my fountain pens, I can show you another ones to make this video a bit more informative. This is the second fountain pen that I have. It's a Stone Go. This is metal, brass, or whatever you call it. I don't know. It's wooden fountain pen otherwise. Yeah, it has a certain characteristic when you write with it. It's difficult to say, but the nib, it's a certain shape that it adds something to the handwriting, and it's difficult to describe. It also has this converter in it, and this thing which helps the ink flow, probably. This was a gift for me, and I'm not familiar with these fountain pens, but this is great. They're quite similar. Yeah, one of my favorites. So what do I have here? What else? This is a really small fountain pen. I'm not even sure it works, but I love the look of it. It's really small, but it's beautiful. Someday, when I get more used to fountain pens, I would probably try to see if it works. And you know, it also has this ink sac in it, which I'm very afraid of. I also wanted to have, you know, these wet noodle fountain pens, and I got this one. This is Conklin Crescent fountain pen with this filler, and it's a wet noodle. I would say it's scratchy, but it's soft. It's not inked up, but it's really wet, so it's kind of unpractical for me, because this is so wet fountain pen that I don't see myself really using this. But at least I've had this experience of wet noodle fountain pen, and as I would like to practice calligraphy someday, then it would be perfect. It would be perfect then. So what else do I have? Oh yeah, this one was also given for me because the nib is damaged, and it's really cheap fountain pen, but it has a converter, and otherwise it seems to be, if I replace the nib, then it would probably work. It seems quality fountain pen, but it's really cheap. I don't even remember the name anymore. Yiren, it's written on the nib, and I actually looked it up. It's like under $10 or something on eBay. Yeah. And last fountain pen, it's not last, I have a few more, but not here, is this Noodles Creeper. Yeah, it was supposed to be a flex fountain pen, but it's really, I mean, it's steel nib, so I wasn't personally very impressed by it, so I'm basically not using it. I don't like the filling system, it's weird. I don't know, it's not for me. I don't get it. Maybe someday. So yeah, one curious thing, as I got all these fountain pens, all these over the years, I used this a lot. Then I used all the others, except basically this one and this one, you know. But I've used all the others, and when I have a lot of time, I really enjoy writing with this fountain pen. It's amazing, you know, this vintage fountain pen. But when I'm in a hurry, for example at work, and when I have to use a fountain pen or a pen, I tend to use fountain pen. And when I'm in a hurry, I love using this one. So this was a really interesting experience for me, because for some times I didn't use this one at all, basically. And then after a long time, after many months, I inked it up, and at work, as I have to write fast, I discovered that this is really great, and I prefer this one. And when I'm in a situation where I'm alone, writing for myself, trying to write poetry or something, then I prefer this one, or any other of my fountain pens. So yes, also this year I want to get a few pilot fountain pens, at least one of them. So as with typewriters, I have 4 typewriters, and at the moment I don't feel the need of getting any more of them, because, well, okay, the video stopped for some reason. I wanted to say that yeah, I have these fountain pens, 7 of them, and as I have like 4 typewriters, I feel that all these 4 typewriters, they suit all my needs that I have as regards to writing with typewriters. And I feel that all these fountain pens, when I get 2 more fountain pens someday, 2 pilot fountain pens, then I'll have basically 9 fountain pens altogether, and I don't think I need any more fountain pens. But these, I think they are quite unique. I haven't seen, for a newbie collection, I haven't basically seen almost any videos about these kind of fountain pens. You know, this is Swan vintage fountain pen, Conklin vintage fountain pen, Flex Noodle. This one is Stone Go amazing fountain pen, Lamy Logo, one of my true favorites, the pen that I have used most. I really love it. This one, really fine nib. It has a, I think I would have to talk a bit more about this fountain pen sometime, and I love the color of it. It's toffee color or something, and it's really, really, really fine nib. And if it's also flexible, then if I flex it a bit, then I can make broader lines easily. And then it kind of stays broad for a while, and then the ink flow sort of drops down. Also, it writes perfectly, and then it gets really fine again. This one, I don't know, I haven't basically used it, but I like the look of it. And this one is, in my view, a sort of collector's item in a way. It's for like 36, I think, 1936 fountain pen. Most gorgeous fountain pen that I have. I have been afraid to use it because you know, the ink sac and stuff. And also, I have seen a lot of these fountain pens being very flexible, but this one, not really. I don't know. Although it's 14 karat gold and waterman's nib and everything, but it's not very flexible for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why. I'm new to fountain pens, about a year. So yeah, this spontaneous video turned out to be a brief overview of my newbie fountain pen collection. And I mean, this channel, I don't know how often I upload, and I hope this will be mostly about music. I'm still saving money for the kawaii piano and waiting for a release of a new kawaii piano, maybe someday, some year, whatever. And this Yamaha piano I have at my parents' house. I'm not visiting them very often. But yeah, so it's probably not going to be a fountain pen related channel. But yeah, I wanted to make a shout out to Luke and his pens and poetry. I mean, it's really a great concept. I love this channel, and I do hope he comes back. Really, he's amazing. Okay, take care. Thanks for watching. For months I wanted to show you my beginner newbie fountain pen collection, and this was my third attempt or version recording it. I'm actually quite happy how it turned out, and I do hope that Luke's pens and poetry will be able to return. I don't know him personally, but from the videos he seems to be a really great person, and his videos were awesome. Pens and poetry, what more can you ask for? But this channel here is probably going to be mostly about my piano journey. Perhaps a few videos about typewriters, fountain pens and fountain pen inks as well.